Okay, good morning. My name is Tom Jayne. I'm a professor at Michigan State University, and I'm pleased to be invited to to give this presentation this morning on land tenure and food security. There's a colon after that, connecting Africa's land, food security, and employment policy challenges. So let me start with a couple of framing questions just to sort of set the stage for the issues that I'll be discussing. The first one is Africa is enjoying roughly 5% annual agricultural growth rates. That's been the way it is since the last decade or so. But who is driving this growth and how broadly based it is? And more specifically, what does it have to do with land tenure policy? Number two, are countries' land policies compatible with their food security, their poverty reduction, and their employment strategies? I'm going to argue that there are some disconnects there that need to be tightened up. Number three, will the rate of growth in the non-farm sector depend on how inclusive agricultural growth is? And what does this have to do with land policy as well? And then number four, will a commitment to inclusive agricultural development require land expansion potential for small-scale farmers? So with those four framing questions to be kept in mind, let me now go over the outline for this module. Number one, conceptual issues, and I think there are three. First of all, just going over briefly what the role and functions of land are in African society. Number two, how are land policy issues intertwined with agricultural development strategies? And number three, alternative conceptions of land security and how those different conceptions may influence what gets done on the ground and what their impacts are. So then I'd like to move, after discussing the conceptual part of this, to move to applied evidence. And on these, there are also three issues. First of all, just to outline what's happening on the ground. What are the trends in land allocation and land scarcity? And specifically under this, there are three things. We're going to document the rapidly changing structure that's occurring in agriculture. Africa has long been thought of as a smallholder-based agricultural system, with the exceptions of South Africa and maybe Zimbabwe. But we'll see that that's changing rapidly. Number two, rise of medium-scale farms. While a lot of attention, rightfully, has been given to large-scale land expansion, we think that the evidence is now clear that medium-scale farms are even more important now than large-scale. Number three, what is this doing to the idea of a possible enclosure movement? And certainly that has implications for agricultural development policy more generally. So the second issue under the applied evidence part is the relationships between land distribution, employment, and food security. Trace through that. And then the third issue under the evidence is what's the relationship between land security, land investments, and agricultural productivity. Lastly, I'll get to the policy implications of all of this. And there's two in particular that I'd like to highlight. First of all, what does this have to do with CAADP and CAADP strategies? Feed the future objectives? How can land policy be made more compatible with these other activities? And then number two, are there benefits to considering in a kind of a holistic way land policy along with food security policy and employment?